and welcome back to my channel. Today is another hashtag OpshopCrafter haul. This is where we show what we found from the Opshop for our crafting. You can join in, just add the hashtag OpshopCrafter to your title and link me back in your description. And we can all see what we found from the Opshop for our crafting needs. We also have a Facebook group called Opshop/ThriftshopCrafter, and all the links will be in the description below if you'd like to go over and check that out. Alright, let's have a look at what I found. Part of this was local, part of this was when we were in Melbourne. We had to go to Melbourne just for a day. It was a really rushed trip because I had some medical appointments down there, and I got to stop in at a few op shops, not many, but I was actually looking for more for some vases and things for our daughter's wedding. But anyway, I'll show you what I got. I found a whole bag of these rolls. Now, I seen one in the container where they were. There was about 6 big packs like that in there, but there was one that was open, and I thought, oh, these are nice. So I picked up the one stack of them, and if you open it up, it's almost as fine as it's like a, how do you describe it? It's like that cotton ribbon that you get. It's almost as thin as the seam binding, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's really soft too. So I picked up one whole bag. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There was 10 of them in there, and it looks like there's a fair bit on that. So I love that they're white. They all had a pin in them. So that was pretty good. I think the pack was $7. So if you divide the 7 into 10, they were under $1 each, which is pretty good. Excuse my sniffing. I've had a cold. My husband's got the cold now, so we're sharing all that. We got down to, I have to tell you this story. We got down to Melbourne, and like I said, it was just a flying trip for this medical appointment. And we found a parking spot. It was deep in the city, like all around the high rises, right? And we eventually find a parking spot, and my husband said, oh, we can put 3 hours in the meter, because I knew I was going to be at least an hour or more. And he said, oh, I don't feel well, so I'm going to just sit in the camper. We took our camper because when we go places, we take our camper because we've always got somewhere to sleep. So he said, I'm going to stay in the camper, and I might lay down and have a sleep in the back, because we've got a beautiful big queen-size bed in the back, TV, anything, all that sort of stuff. So he gets comfy in the back with Pickle, and I went off to my appointment. And when I got back, he said, I had to go. And I said, yeah, I think it went good. And he said, well, I had to ring the police. I was like, what? What happened? And he goes, I was lying in bed, and I could hear something like tapping, like a bird or something walking on the camper. And I looked out the back window, and a guy's head popped up. And I banged on the window and went, oi, what are you doing? And by the time I got out there, one of our number plates had been stolen. So we had to ring the police. They said, take the other number plate off because now you've reported them stolen. He said, the car's registered, but you'll need to take them off. So we drove home with no number plates on. So now we have to go and buy new number plates for the camper. So, which is a real pain. So, and then when we got home, we were watching telly, and a news flash come on and said that it's at an epidemic all-time high in Melbourne for people stealing number plates. Oh, gosh. Anyway, I'm just glad we're both safe, and that's all we have to do. I was just, when he said I had to call the police, I was just thinking, oh gosh, I hope they didn't try breaking in or doing something to him, or gosh, it was just, yeah. So I'm just thankful that that's all it was, but at the same time it's a real pain because now we have to go and get new number plates. Alright, I got this pack of playing cards, and these ones are Birds of Australia. Gosh, I haven't got my glasses on, it's very tiny writing, but they're nice, just bird cards. And I love the Joker on the back of these, it's quite different. Yeah, so there were some cards. I like picking up cards with the pictures on them, especially if they're vintage ones. Alright, I found 2 doilies. It's really, I can understand what people say when they say, oh, we don't find much in our op shops, because there wasn't, it was very slim pickings in the op shops down there for the sort of things that I like to find. But I did find a lot of different sized vases for our daughter's wedding, and that was the main purpose of ducking into those op shops anyway, which I was very grateful for. So I picked up these 2 because I thought they were pretty, they looked nice, just different. I found one of these. It is a Stitch Easy frame. You can see the brand on there, and what you do is pull this up, okay, and then you stitch, and it sits on the table. Isn't that cool? I've got a few different ones now. One that connects to the edge of the table, this one now that sits on the table, and I just thought, oh, that could be so handy, you know, you're just going to do 1 or 2 little things, and this is a nice smallish size. So, and that was only a few dollars. Isn't that cool? That's probably the coolest thing I found down there. And I think this was in a Savers shop, one of those big Savers. I only went to one of them. I don't go to many of them anymore when we go to Melbourne because they're too expensive. I got this, I got a few vases there, and I think I got a couple of books, and that was all. And the rest of the little bits and pieces I got from just, you know, the smaller independent op shops. Right, so I thought that was a really cool buy. I think this was about $6, if I remember rightly. But that's pretty cool for $6. And then when you're finished, you can fold it down like that and put it away to store it. How cool is that? Very cool. Alright, so I found some blue gimp braid. This was, I think this was $3. And the shop that I went into, the lady said, oh, she said, gosh, all this sort of stuff is so expensive at Spotlight now. And the same shop, I found this roll. There's a lot on this roll, and it's just a nice fine lace, a nice thin one, which you could put on things. And I thought they were pretty good. This was I think they were $3 each. Yeah. So they were nice. Yeah, the lady said, oh gosh, you can't get anything, you know, at a good price in Spotlight. And I said to her, well, I buy all my craft supplies from the op shops now. I said, I haven't bought craft supplies for a long time from Spotlight. Alright, I found some gold beads. These are just, you know, regular gold beads. So little bits and pieces of these things I found local too, but I think I might have found these local. And I'll put them in my bead box. They're really pretty and sparkly. I found a whole thing of these tassels. I love these little mini tassels. This is the Anko brand, which is Kmart, but none of them had been used on there. So I'm going to put some of these in my flower pail journal. I think I've got a few other ones too put away to put in that. But yeah, they're really nice. Really nice because you can put them on they're small enough to put on the edge of your pages. Alright, I found a pack of bits and pieces. And when I looked in this, I thought, I liked the buttons. That's why I got them. That's why I got it. So there's a measure tape in there. I've got a few measure tapes. There was a zipper. And then I got a whole bag of these. Look at these sparkly buttons. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. That's why I picked up the bag. I'm going to put some of these on my sparkly project. Love it. Gosh, look at how many of them there are. Then there was this twine. It's really interesting colour. Just a neutral colour with a sparkly green through it. I thought that was really nice. What else was in that bag? I think that was all in that bag in a zipper. Yeah. So the phone rang and I've been on the phone for a little while. Okay, the next thing I got was this mini paint pad. I thought this looked really cool. Look at it. It's got in the back, it's got a paintbrush, and then each it's got paint palette, pages of paint palette, and then each page has a colouring thing. So you've got your paint palette here, and then you've got cats. There's cat pictures. I think there was dog pictures in here too. There's the doggo pictures. Cute little dog pictures. That's a cute doggo one. So yeah, it's just all sorts of pictures like that, and then you've got your paint palette on one side, which is pretty cool. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know where that's from. It doesn't look like it's from Kmart, but that was pretty neat. Right, I got 2 of these playing cards. I won't take them out, but they've got gorgeous flowers on them. This one's violets and this one's looks like chrysanthemums. And they're gorgeous. So full decks of them. One hasn't been opened at all. Nice. Love playing cards. Right, I got a roll of this Panda Ruby 10 it's called, and it's a really nice almost a corally light orange colour. The camera doesn't do that justice. Alright, I got a red chicken scratch. I love these chicken scratchings, these tablecloths. I didn't have a red one, so that was really pretty. I've got all sorts of colours now of the chicken scratching. There was a bag of these corks. Now you probably think, why am I getting a bag of corks for? And I was just like, I don't know why I'm getting a bag of corks, but you know, they are a really nice size. They're a small size. And I'll try and get into this bag, and I'm sure I can do something with them. Oh gosh, it's hard to get into these bags sometimes. There we go. They look like corks that haven't even been used. So I'm going to think of something to do with them. I think they look cool. Right, there's a whole bag of them. And there was 2 lots of fabric. These were all really light cream colours, and I thought, oh, these would just be awesome to do projects on. It looks like most of them are fat quarters, but they've all got a real slight white pattern on them, just really lightly. You might be able to see just a really light pattern, but they would be all great for embroidery projects. So there was this creamy bundle, and then there was a more white bundle. I hope my camera's not going to... Oh, that one's got these are all got patterns on them too. Oh, these are gorgeous. So these look like they're all fat quarters as well. I've just got them half off the camera because the camera hates white stuff. Oh, there's a lot here, and these will just be awesome. I'll leave these out so that I can do projects on them. There's a lot of fabric there. So they were $1 each, all these. See, there's this much in this pack and that much in that pack. So they were only $1 each, and I just thought that is so worth it. Right, I found these awesome table placemats. Where'd my scissors go? I absolutely, the camera does not do this colour justice at all. Does not do it justice. This is a gorgeous electric purple colour. I'm not sure how many there is in here. And they're all placemats like that big. And it's a purple colour with like a black sort of streak in it. And I just thought they would be awesome junk journal covers. And you could use them as a base to stitch on or put a picture on. Like, I might even put my recent flower that I did in the paint and stitch, which I'm trying to find. It's around here somewhere. I know it's around here somewhere, but I'll find it anyway. Yeah, you could stitch anything on the fronts of these and have it as a beautiful junk journal. So I thought they are just fabulous. They sort of look pink on camera, but they're, to me, it's like a pinky purple. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of them. Isn't that awesome? I just love the color of them. Absolutely love the color of them. So they came home. Then I got 2, whoops. Then my camera's going to hate this too probably. Then I found 2 of these placemats, and they were brand new. They still had the tags on them from Home & Co, wherever that is. And I'm going to use these on, one for the jelly plate and one for my tea dyeing, paper tea dyeing. And they will just look fabulous on the jelly plate as background, just pattern. So I was sort of looking at buying 2 like this, and then when I found these at the Opshop, I was just like, yep, that will be awesome. So they came home with me. Oh, I'll just pick up what fell on the floor. Now I found a piece of fabric, and I showed this on OpshopCrafter a little while back, and this is just amazing, this fabric. There's a lot of it. I'm trying to just put it around here so I can show you. Look at this fabric. Isn't this stunning? It's all like, I think it's all buildings of Paris, but it's got these beautiful women on it as well, like this retro look. And this is just stunning. I'm pretty sure it either said there was 5 or 10 meters here. It said there was quite a bit. And I just thought this was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know what's on the salvage, if there's a name on the salvage. Yeah, there is. Let's have a look. Okay, the salvage name says Michael Miller Fabrics, Springtime in Paris, and the pattern number is C1568. Nice. So I don't know anything about fabric brands, so if you know this Michael Miller, yeah, let me know in the description box below, because I don't know nothing about fabric makers. But isn't this gorgeous? It's absolutely gorgeous. You know, you could just use just little pieces for junk journaling, to put on your ephemera. Look at the one here with the little doggo. Isn't this beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. And then the ones with the shopping boxes and the oh, there's a little pink poodle here with the Eiffel Tower in the background. Yeah, this is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous fabric. So I was pretty chuffed to find that. It did cost a little bit more than I would normally pay, but it is just stunning. I've never seen anything like this before. So there's a big, thick, look how thick it is. There's a big, thick wad of that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fabric. All right, the last few things that I got were some books. I got this for 50 cents, and it says it's a sketchbook of the dandelions. Dandelions. Not dandelions. Dandelions. And the dandelions are in Melbourne. So there's just sketchbook, and I love the handwriting in this. It's got that Edith Holden feel to it with the creamy coloured pages and the sketches. It's just gorgeous. So it looks like it's just all different houses and things in that area, and yeah, buildings. And we did visit the Dandenongs. That was when we visited that friend we made around going around Australia, wasn't it, Dave? Yeah, he was in the Dandenongs, and we met him in Kings Canyon, and he said, when you come round my way, he said, come and visit. So we did, and he showed us around where he lives in the Dandenongs, and it was beautiful. Beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. This is a beautiful book. And I love that it's on a spiral bound thing here too. Some beautiful sketches. It's all Australian. I just love all Australian stuff. Very proud of Australia. And then it's got a little map here of the Dandenongs. Nice. So that's what that's called, Sketchbook of the Dandenongs. Text and drawing by Claire Houston. So that was the first book. I found a colouring book of plants colouring book. Now I really liked the format of this, how this was coloured, the shading that's already down on it. I just thought that was just beautiful, because I reckon this would just look nice as just black and white, and you could even cut different little pots out here and put them on your ephemera. It just looks really pretty, the shading that's already on some of these colouring pictures. Or you could put them as full pages in your junk journal. But so you could cut out all these little pots. Wouldn't they look gorgeous on your tags or whatever? And just leave them black and white on top of a coloured sort of, background. I think that would look really pretty. I pick up a few colouring books, but only, what I think I could use. And I think I could use, all these, cutting out all these little pots and things. I think that would look beautiful. Bent. So yeah, when we did this running trip to Melbourne, it was I just put in all the Opshops that like on a trail out of Melbourne that we did on the way back, because we didn't have much time there. It was only a flying visit. So but we did it all without number plates on the way back. No one pulled us over. We were sure that we were going to get pulled over multiple times, but no, we didn't. Oh, look at this, a colour test. You can do your little colour swatch at the front. So that's a nice colouring book if you're looking for colouring books. Plants colouring book by Colour Me Cassie. Alright, my next book was this 100 beaded flowers, charms and trinkets. I don't know, I may have this book. I may have it, I'll find out. But I thought there's some great stuff in here you could make to put on little charms and dangles on your stuff. I've got all the beads to do it. See, there's an Eiffel Tower. You could put it on this fabric here. Little teapots are so cute. Well, this is all this sort of beading we did with the kids when they were young. So I know how to do it. It's just, a matter of sitting down and putting something together. I love these little flowers. They would look cute on little dangles and things too. They'd be so easy to do. And a little wand. That would be cute on a little fairy journal, wouldn't it? And the little castle and the little carriage. And then you've got Santa. Hi, Santa. I love these little Christmas lights. Aren't they cute? And the Christmas tree. There's some cute stuff in here. All these little animals. Yeah, we made all this sort of stuff with the kids. They loved doing it. We had so many beads, and a lot of my seed beads are left over from that I've got in my collection. Yeah, some pretty stuff. Little hearts and strawberries, and well, that's a cute little fuchsia flower and a poppy. Some nice little flowers, cherries, pieces of pizza. Are they cute? Sushi slices. Little boats and thongs. Well, I remember making some thongs with the kids. They're cute. The little lighthouses and fish and crabs and shells, spiders and butterflies and dragonflies. Dragonfly, he's awesome. Bugs. And then you've got different sorts of pictures here showing them, put out on some sort of stitching. That looks really pretty on the stitching. I think I may have this book before. I'll have a look. If I have 2 of this, I might gift this one out. But I'll have a look first. But this will go, if I haven't, this will go in my own collection, craft book collection. And then it's got more about the supplies that you need, and the way that you you crisscross the like a snake pattern, you crisscross the wire in through your beads, and then your supplies that you need, your color palettes and tools. Yeah, nice book that. 100 beaded flowers and charms and trinkets. Okay, my last book, it's another beading book, is this one. Bracelets, buttons and brooches. Now, I got this because my dad gave me a lot of precious stones that you could do this around, that you could bead your cabs, and I really want to try that with some of those precious stones, because they are just stunning. They're absolutely stunning. And you could do it with these faces. I've got some molds for these faces, so I want to learn how to do this stitch, how to encase it around in it. And I just think they would look awesome. It just shows you how to do all the surrounds and case it in, and yeah. I've got a lock of Mum's hair, and I'd love to put it in something that I could wear, because she loved beads, she loved wearing that sort of stuff, and I'd love to put a lock of her hair, maybe in some resin or something like that. I just put it away special because I want to do something like that with it. I have done this once before, a long time ago, but I need refreshing in my mind how to do it. But there's some gorgeous stuff in this book. It just shows you how to go all around the edge of all these things to make them into a beautiful brooch or a pendant that you could put on a necklace or anything like that. Look at this one. This one's a hairpiece. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And when I did beading years ago with a lady called Kay, she showed me how to do a lot of all this, and it's just stunning. Like, you've got a feature bead and then you put all this stunning work around it, and it just, oh, I think when I showed you my beads that I did from the past, there's a few of them in there like that. I'll try and put the video up here so that you can see that, because I just really enjoyed doing a lot of those beading projects. I love this. This is gorgeous. Seeing you could do it with a precious rock and then precious stone, because my dad gave me a lot of agates and things like that that he'd actually cut and, you know, turned into slabs like that. Oh, and look at this. Isn't this gorgeous, this malachite? This is a stunning book, actually. You know, if you're into that sort of stuff. Look at this, how they've done it. They've put these bugle beads down the side, and then, oh, I really like that. Beautiful. Just amazing. So you could do this with buttons. You could put a gorgeous vintage button and you could do this around it with beads. That would look absolutely beautiful with a button. And imagine that then on a feature on some of your stitching. That would just look stunning. Beautiful book. Glad I picked that up now. I think it was $3, this book. I think I might have found this in Savers. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's my main interest, is these this sort of going around something, you know. What is it? A cab. And it shows then all the things that you need. And then it shows the thread. This is all the Nemo thread, like the threads that I've got. These ones here. And then you've got all your beads and your cabs and things. See, look, this one's even a shell. Wow, pieces of agate. I've got a couple of pieces of agate here. See, like this. Aren't they gorgeous? And it shows you your beads. Aren't they just beautiful? So you can go around anything. Beautiful book, that. Absolutely beautiful. So that's bracelets, buttons and brooches. 20 projects using and innovating beading techniques. Gorgeous. Yeah, it was $3.49. That was, I think that was from Savers. That's a Savers tag there. All right. So that was my Opshop crafter haul for this time. I hope you've enjoyed looking at those goodies, and like, share and subscribe, and pop over to our Facebook group, say hi, and share what you found and what you might do with your goodies from the Opshop too. Alright, stay safe and enjoy your crafting, and I'll see you soon for a new video. Take care. Bye.